You are back with the App Show. Mike Agerbo here with John Beeler. Want to talk to an entrepreneur who's come out with a few cool tech products over the years, and he's got a whole bunch of new ones coming up on Kickstarter that also have a big sustainability message as well that we'll get into. We've got Adrian Solgaard on the line. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Pretty excited to have you on. Maybe tell our listeners, before we get into the new stuff, some of the stuff that you've invented in the past.
Yeah, sure. So the first physical product I made was a bicycle lock. It was a lock that lived inside of the bike through the seat post of the bicycle. I ran that company for about 3 years. Then I had this idea for a backpack with a solar panel in it and a lock attached to it as well, and put that on Kickstarter. It raised $600,000 and went on to raise another $1.2 million via Indiegogo. And that kind of got me on this path to creating products in the travel space. Made a suitcase that has a built-in shelving system, ended up winning Time Magazine Best Inventions in 2018. Developed a hexagon-shaped watch that allows you to tell time a little bit faster, and a few other bits and bobs, different backpacks and a few other innovations. And now the newest couple of things have just come out.
Yeah, so these are available as part of a Kickstarter program. Let's go through some of them. There's some pretty interesting stuff here, starting with the Homebase. And I want one of those things so badly. Explain to listeners what this is and what it looks like.
So the Homebase is an L-shaped shelf that lives on the wall, and it's got built-in wireless charging in it. So you hang it on the wall, and it's a spot for you to lay your phone down, and your phone will charge up. But it's also got a magnetic hook on the side, so you can leave your keys on there. There's some space for your wallet. There's an Apple Watch adapter that you can add onto it as well for charging your Apple Watch. So it's kind of this like Homebase, like a landing pad for all your tech accessories to just live. Then when you leave the house, you just stop at the one spot, grab all your stuff, and go from there. Now we've made it to be compatible with our solar-powered speaker, the Boombox. So the speaker can sit on it, and it can be wirelessly charged. And the shelf has a built-in acoustic amplifier for the speaker as well. So you're able to pump the music through there, and it makes it even louder for when you're in the house. Then you go out on your balcony, just grab the speaker, bring it with you, and it's fully charged up.
This is very kind of IKEA looking. I love it because I'm just, more and more of our devices are wireless now, and I just want to get rid of all the wires. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so this thing here, you could, put this on your wall. Obviously, it's got to get power somehow, but, depending how fancy you get, a small little cord down to the outlet, or if you get fancier, you can get, I guess, an electrician in or something to get the power right to the unit itself. But it's so nice just to be able to drop your phone, your wireless AirPods and stuff right on the ledge there, and it gets charged.
Yeah. I mean, it's saying it looks IKEA-ish. So I'm a Norwegian Canadian. I designed this together with my Danish friend Thor, so it does have a very Scandinavian aesthetic to it.
How much does this thing go for?
Full retail is $169 US for the Homebase. And
it's available as part of a Kickstarter program right now.
Yeah.
You mentioned your solar boombox. This is, I think, a fantastic idea for on-the-go music. Tell us about it.
So we originally developed it for the backpack. I think you guys have had life packs on the show before.
Yeah.
We have a backpack that has a solar window in it, and in there you can slide in the Boombox or the Juicepack, and it allows the solar to always be charging up when you're on the go. There's a few frustrating points with a speaker, which if you've traveled with one, you know that either your phone dies or the speaker dies, and they never kind of last enough time. So we put in a huge battery. It's a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. The speaker can play music for 96 hours straight. We've tested it. And so you've always got enough power from the device to then charge up your phone, or you can use the device it just powers itself. If you leave your house, you're forgetting to charge your speaker, the solar kind of acts as this backup power source where 1 hour of sun will give you about 2 hours of music.
We've seen a lot of solar charging devices out there, but generally it's barely a trickle. And this sounds like pretty impressive to be able to just, use it out on the go on the beach or whatever, and it's always sort of topping itself up.
Exactly. And it's not meant to be the primary source of charging, but it's that extra, like, keeping you topped up all the time.
Yeah. So there's an actual solar panel on this thing.
Yeah. So the whole dark, when you see the image of it, that dark side is all solar panel.
And so my question now is, does it have to be like a bright sunny day? Does this work when it's partially cloudy? How does it work?
So think about it like a sunburn, right? You can get a sunburn on a cloudy day, but you're more likely to get a sunburn on a bright, full sunny day. So the stronger the sun, the more power you'll generate, but it'll still generate some power when it's cloudy. There's always, it's powered by UV light. So
So if your friends don't suck all the power off of it by charging their phones on it, you can play music for days with this thing.
Exactly.
You said it's rated for 96 hours, but does that include solar power charging it at the same time?
No, that doesn't. So like the way that we did that testing, it's actually hard to find a space in your life that you can leave music playing on a speaker for 4 days straight. So I created this weird box that like this little sound insulation box, and I left it playing at the office over a long weekend once. Well, we did it several times, but like that was the first way to test it out. And so yeah, that's with no solar power. So the solar or any other additional charging will go above and beyond that.
Back just quickly to John's point there about how good it charges. Like, have we seen better technology when it comes to solar charging? Because I remember back years ago, these solar panels been around for a while. It would take days to get you a charge on anything.
Yeah, no, so we are using the latest technology that's available to us. We call it 4th generation solar because it does capture light across the spectrum. So yeah, it is a better solar panel. And then we've got some really good technology for the way that it routes the power into the battery.
The next one here, I wish I had this thing camping. The solar Juicepack. Tell us about this.
So that's taking the same idea as the speaker, but you take the speakers away. So it's a solar panel with a power bank so you can charge your devices from it. We put in a bigger battery. It's 20,000 milliamp hours. And it's got USB-C as well. So if you have a MacBook Air or one of the smaller 12-inch MacBooks, you can actually charge that computer from it, which is a really nice way to extend your battery life if you're working somewhere remotely. Or you can just use it to charge your phone traditionally. And yeah, same idea. It's that power on the go. If you're working remotely, you know that having access to power and the ability to continue working is one of the most important things.
How long would it take to charge this thing up using just solar power?
From full, it would be that one with the 20,000 milliamp hour battery. It charges 400 milliamp hours per hour. It'd be 40 or so hours. So again, the solar is there to keep it topped up. It's not the primary charging method. It's a way to keep it full.
And so I mentioned one use of it, like camping. Or are there other applications for this?
Yeah, camping, or if you have it in one of our life pack, the backpack with the solar window, that's another way for it to stay charged when you're on the go. Or just, camping, if you're boating, anything like that. All these devices are drop-proof and waterproof. So if you take it out on the boat or you're taking it out by the pool, whatever, it's just that power ready for you.
I think it would just be great for my back patio. I don't have to worry about running wires.
Yeah. And it's got wireless charge. The Juicepack has wireless charging too. So if you just lay it down, you can just pop your phone on top of it and it'll charge your phone wirelessly.
Is there any problem with heat from all this? You're having your solar charger in the sun, the bright sun. You're putting your phone on it. Everything's getting warm.
Everything's getting warm. Yeah, your phone can't handle laying out in the direct sun, but these solar panels can. And the batteries and the devices are insulated. Like the internal bits are insulated enough so that heats of up to 60 degrees Celsius are totally fine.
Oh, okay.
So we're not going to have any exploding batteries.
Correct. Yeah. That was the biggest concern from day one. Was like, how do I make sure that this never explodes on anyone?
Quickly, the prices on those two.
The Juicepack retail is $99 and the Boombox is $149 US. And on Kickstarter, they're $79 and $114, I think.
Get a bit of a
79 and 99. Yeah. There's a bit of so this is our 6th Kickstarter campaign, and what we find so exciting about Kickstarter is we get the product through and past the prototype stage, get the tooling ready, and then as we're placing our first production order, we can say, hey, you guys can get this at a discount and you'll be the first people to get it in your hands. It's such an interesting way for us to be able to get more products into more people's hands sooner, and they get a discount while they're at it. So it's a great, it's a win-win.
Adrian, I wanted to talk about the sustainability aspect of these devices and kind of your commitment to that. I believe that these devices are actually using recycled products in their manufacture.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first product that we made was this solar-powered speaker 4 years ago for the first version. And that was my first step in the direction of like doing something sustainably. Then about a year later, I was traveling and I was in Bali and was supposed to be on the most beautiful beach in the world, but it was covered in plastic. And I thought, maybe there's some way we can do something with this. So we started looking at how we could recycle some of this plastic from these beaches. And we found a way to make that into the fabric that we use in our bags and our backpacks. And then we discovered that there's another material source using similar raw plastic, but converting it with the special technology, a special method, this group out of Pennsylvania, and they're using it to make hard plastic. So we're actually making the entirety, the Homebase, the mesh that you see on it, that's a fabric made from ocean plastic. And the hard shell, that L-shaped edge you see, that's also made from ocean plastic. So the goal of the company is that we can do things to raise awareness for sustainability throughout, but also while doing things and using it and being a great test case for some of these new products to be made, that we can lead the way for other companies to do similar initiatives. Because if all of the companies in the world were using recycled content, it would really reduce the amount of plastic that we're outputting, and it would like help raise so much awareness for it.
How difficult is it to get ocean plastic to put in these? Like how do they collect it?
It's a long process with quite a few complications. So we have a supply chain of different people. So there's groups that collect plastic from beaches and riverways. So they work with local people in the Maldives and the Philippines, and they're collecting. So this is called ocean-bound plastic. So it's plastic that within one rainfall would be in the ocean. It's a lot easier to collect it once it's on land before it gets into the water. And also 90% of plastic sinks once it's into the ocean. So we work with groups that collect it. And then from there, once it's collected, we have to clean it, sterilize it, break it up into smaller flakes, crunch it down, melt it, and then it becomes whatever it needs to become.
And how much of your devices contain these recycled materials?
Everything has some level of recycled content in it. The bags, all the fabric, both inside and out, are made from recycled content. The suitcases, the entire the interior lining is made 100% from ocean-bound plastic. The shell is polycarbonate, so that's a different material. It's 30% recycled. But yeah, we're trying to push the limits on every single product that we're making and make sure that we're using as much recycled content as possible at all times.
Is it easy to get this stuff?
Yes and no. So it's available to purchase, but the quantities you typically need to purchase that are in the scale of tons. So we're talking 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 container loads of stuff to get it where it's cleaned and filtered. So that's one of the reasons it took us so long at the start, was how do we get it going without like these massive orders? And so that's when we ran a Kickstarter campaign for another backpack. And we were able to use that funding to buy that first few container loads so we could start to make it.
Fascinating. But does this add an extra cost to the devices?
Yeah, it does, for sure. To use this type of material adds about 4 weeks to the production timeline, and it's about double the cost in the raw plastic. But of course, the plastic is not the only component in the product. The batteries make up a pretty substantial part of the cost of these things. So it's more costly, but it doesn't need to make a huge impact on what the end retail price would be.
Have you had any challenges with your Kickstarter and the current pandemic that we're having, as far as your supply chain and even just getting the word out? A lot of the normal ways that you would do that probably have been affected in some way.
Yeah, the supply chain side, we're in a good spot now. The factories in Asia were pretty complicated during February, March, April, and then by May things were rolling pretty smoothly. And now June, July, it's been picking up a lot better. Getting the word out has been different, but not too bad, because a lot of people are on their computers looking and trying to find exciting new things. So from the Kickstarter perspective, I don't think the pandemic's had too much of an impact.
We're talking with Adrian Solgaard. He's the man behind Soulguard mobile devices. They've got a great Kickstarter campaign going right now for some solar-powered speakers, battery, and also a really cool Homebase for charging all your devices, and a really cool IKEA-looking shelf that you put on your wall. And looks like, Adrian, we're capturing you live from your car somewhere.
Yeah, I'm off the side of Lake Michigan. I ended up in Michigan for a day and a half for some meetings, and
and there you are. Well, I want to thank you for joining us. Where can people find out more information? Obviously, they can check out Kickstarter. What's your website?
Our website is soulguard.co. So that's www.soulguard.co.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube page. And that little bell icon, hit that and you'll be notified every time we post a new video. And comment. The more comments and the more likes and subscriptions we get, the more videos we can make.